We're joined by UTRGV head coach Dan Hipsher and student athletes Shaquille Hines and Dan Kamasa. Coach, can you please start with an opening statement?
One of the comments I made before the game was the game at their place, we shot the ball extremely poorly from the 3 line, 6 for 26, and they came to our place and went 2 for 16. And that decided both games. And this game, somewhat that. We didn't shoot the ball very well from the perimeter, but I thought we got great play out of Dan, and we're trying to get the ball inside, and then Dan got cramping in the second half. 4 minutes into the half, after the media, he had to come out, wait a minute or two to try to rub cramps out. And because we got the ball on the block a couple times early in the second half and scored the ball, but we, he kind of got into a cramping mode, and it was a tough situation for him. But the one thing we normally don't do is turn the ball over, and tonight we had 16 of them against the zone. So those are just throwing possessions away. Did a better job rebounding tonight than we did all year long, but countered it with a bunch of bad turnovers and not shooting the ball very well from the field. 35%, that's a struggle for us. So Dan, again, was really good in there. But other than he and Adonis at the basket, we really had no consistent scoring the rest of the way.
Questions?
Size. They threw 7-3 and 6-11 at you a couple of times today. It seems like you guys did a good job against it. Is there something you can take from that?
Well, I mean, they're big, and it's hard to score all layups on them when they're that big, JJ really had a tough finish to the end of the season and shooting the ball, so he's trying to drive into 6'11" and 7 foot, and it's hard for your guards. And then Antonio, I thought they did a good job of showing at him, but he got some looks and couldn't get them in, and hard to just throw it inside. Even Dan, it gets tough. He made a comment late of how big they were in there when we're trying to duck him in, and it was difficult. But they're, with that, you've got to use skill and exploit that, which we didn't do a very good job of.
You guys hung around pretty well in the first half, but then going into the second half, Seattle kind of pulled away. Could you touch on what you thought was the difference there going into the second half?
Well, we were up about 24-20, something like that in there. We were up 3-4 points most of the way in the first half. Early on, we were pretty good defensively. And then from about the 10-minute mark on, I was playing Band-Aids because I think Dakota had 2 fouls, Shaq had 2 fouls, JJ had 2 fouls, and we were just getting in foul trouble. So, and then when we went to zone, we didn't get coverages on a couple corners, and they knocked a couple shots in, but some of those Band-Aid lineups probably cost us a little run there at the end of the first half. But you're hoping some of these other kids came in, and Walt came in and hit a shot for us, and but other than that, it was tough. I think Everett had some great looks and just couldn't get one down, and again, Fat couldn't get one either. But give them credit. They're big, they're strong. Westendorf's a hell of a player. I mean, he controlled the game off the dribble with the ball screen action. They brought Dan up into flats, and he was attacking and made it difficult. I mean, 8 for 14, 1 for 1. He was only 6 for 10 at the line, but 23 points, 4 assists, 2 turnovers. It's a guy stepping up and making plays. And then Jaden Cowie, who came out of witness protection, I think, he hadn't played for 10, 11 games, had a phenomenal game for him tonight. Never touched the floor at our place, so a guy stepping up and playing well.
Shaq, final game with the Vaqueros. What are you going to take from your time at UTRGV?
So what I'm going to take from my time here is just patience is the key. It's been tough my 3 years under coach, but definitely patience and just keep working hard. He's a good guy. I'm going to keep in contact with him forever, and I love him for that. That's really it.
What will you say to your teammates after this, reflecting with the guys you've played with for a couple years and maybe just 1 year, just reflecting with the teammates?
I mean, I just tell them just keep fighting, you know, just make sure they keep their head up because, you know, next year they'll have a great opportunity to win this league with the guys who's sitting out, and I'm pretty sure they got some great guys coming in. So, and with Antonio returning and Dan, they definitely should be really good next year. So, just tell them to keep their head up and just look forward for next year.
Dan, second conference tournament for you. What are you taking away from this one?
I see it as a big experience. It's a big stage. I mean, everybody got to step up. Like Coach said, it's NCAA play every minute, every second. So it's all about playing hard as hard as we can, and I think they did better than us.
And then one more for Coach. Thoughts on the guys graduating, moving on, like
Well,
Shaq and everybody else?
I said it after senior day, you know, you take Dakota and Shaq and Everett and JJ, the quality of people and what kind of people are. You know, we had bad senior night at home, but, you know, I do a video for them before senior night, and I mean, those kids were so spirited in there. It didn't show up out on the floor, but everybody loves these kids, okay? They're great kids. They represent the university well. They're wonderful people. They're going to represent us well the rest of their life. And I told each and every one of them I'll be there with them the rest of their life. And I'm proud of them. They're good people. And they carried themselves well. And, you know, unfortunately, didn't get the job done tonight. But this kid right here, I inherited him. And he was even thinking about leaving. And, you know, he's just a wonderful kid, I'm telling you. And he's been a great student and graduating on time and taking care of his business. So I'll miss them all as people and as players.
Any other questions? Thank you, guys.